Hi, welcome back to my cocktail channel, Lady in the Drink. As promised, this week I am bringing you another really easy cocktail. 3 ingredients, maybe 4 at a push if you're feeling fancy. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Today we're going to be making the Manhattan. It originated in around, some people say the 1860s at one bar on Broadway in New York. Other people say the 1880s in a bar called the Manhattan Club, which probably seems likely, hence it got named the Manhattan cocktail after the club where it was invented. But, you know, you never really know with these cocktail histories. It was also written about later on, I think in the 40s, in a cocktail book. I'll put a link down below to the text for that, as one of 5 cocktails of the different New York boroughs. I know another one that's kind of resurging is called the Brooklyn cocktail, which we will be making next week, hopefully. Very similar to this, but with a few tweaks. So the Manhattan, as it stands, is rye. You can use other whiskey if you have it, but rye is preferable. Sweet vermouth. The original recipe called for Italian, mine is Spanish. Don't hate me, I'm just using what I have. In fact, the next one that I have bought is also Spanish because I really like it. But the original called for Italian, and then bitters, angostura bitters. I'm going to use 2 bitters. I'm going to also use just 1 dash of orange bitters because I'm feeling fancy. You might also want to garnish with a cherry, but if you don't have a cherry, it's not exactly going to be the end of the world. I'm just going to grab some ice and empty out my glass, which has been chilling, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to just go in with 1 large ice cube and 1 little one. I also wanted to tell you, you might read some backstories about this cocktail saying that the Manhattan Club, where it became famous, it was because there was some banquet with Winston Churchill's mother or something like that, but she was in fact in France, so the whole thing is probably fake, but that's another kind of aspect to the cocktail intrigue. So we're going in with 2 ounces of rye or blended whiskey, Canadian whiskey, bourbon, whatever your preference is. I like rye because it's spicier. As you can see, very sadly, we are coming to the last dregs of this bottle. Okay, so there's the rye. 1 part sweet vermouth. I did say this was easy, super simple. Ooh, that is a heavy pour. And I'm going to use 1 dash of orange bitters because I just think it rounds it out nicely, but you don't have to. And then 2 dashes of angostura. Now, I always see people get fancy with this and they hold the bottle in this like fancy way. I probably shouldn't do this wearing a white t-shirt, but there we go. We were fancy today. Got to spice things up a little bit. Okay, so we are going to stir this. I've been over the principles of stirring before, but just in case you're new here or you need a reminder, you're going to stir. You don't want to like mash up the ice, basically. You want to kind of get your spoon around the edge of the ice cubes, and you're going to stir for about 20 to 30 seconds. You should feel that the glass starts to chill down. Funnily enough, actually, I got a new knife last week or the week before, and cut myself with it while I was opening it, as you do. So my thumb was out of action, and I actually noticed that with my thumb out of the way, my stirring technique was a lot better than it previously had been, which of course now it's not behaving, and now that I have a thumb to use, my hand wants to use it. Okay, so that looks good to me. I've chilled my glass in advance, and I'm gonna... That was pretty smooth this week. I'm going to pop a cherry in the bottom. You could also pop it on a cocktail stick if you want, and sort of rest it over the edge of the glass. Could also garnish with a twist. Okay, so we have our julep strainer. And in we go. Beautiful colour, very nice and easy, nice and quick. Just going to swap hands. Like I said, I always end up with things in the wrong hands. Okay, let's give it a taste. Cheers. In fact, let's give it a sniff first. smells delicious. I feel like mentally, because I know there's a cherry in there, I can smell cherry, but it could just be the kind of combination of the other ingredients that we've got going on. Okay. Yes, it is. It's not bone dry, but it is dry. I know that some people call it perfect Manhattan, but I think that's actually when you use both vermouths, sweet and dry. But to me, this tastes perfect. It's the perfect balance of sweet and dry. You've got a bit of kick from the rye and the bitters. Very easy sipper. Nice after dinner drink or as an aperitif. Give it a go. Hopefully you have some of these guys lying around at home. I would also recommend keep your sweet vermouth in the fridge. And I know there wasn't much of a backstory to this one, not as illustrious as some of the other cocktails that we've covered, but I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next week for the Brooklyn cocktail, fingers crossed, if I have all the ingredients ready. Just gonna have another sip. I should really not be drinking it, it's too early in the day, but it's for you, it's for my viewers. Cheers. See you next time.